108 questions from life you should ask yourself and reflect. With death on the mind, life becomes more finite, and therefore more precious. So why not start this transformation now and improve your life? It's not too late to reinvent yourself and reinvent the way you look at your life. Maybe this list of 108 questions will help you get started on the right path. Why do we let unimportant things hold us back? Why do we let microscopic issues bring us down? Why don't we pursue the things that really make us happy? Why don't we chase success like we'll die tomorrow? Why do we make excuses? Why do we put others down and create boundaries? Why don't love generously? Why do we hate? Why do we judge others? Why don't we cherish the precious moments with our families? Why do we run after things that don't matter? Why do we waste time living in the past? Why do we look at life through all of life's great moments cameras? Why don't we get out of our comfort zones? Why do we fear? Why do we hesitate in trying? Why don't we jump in with both feet? Why do we betray those closest to us? Why don't we expand our circle? Why do we get stuck in cliques? Why do we follow the sheep in front of us? Why don't we become the shepherds? Why are we happy being mediocre? Why don't we dream big? Why don't we always aim for the stars? Why do we not try? Why do we not always give 100%? Why do we waste time thinking we're inferior? Why do we not believe in ourselves? Why do we not believe in our abilities? Why do we lie? Why do we put on different faces for different people? Why don't we just be ourselves? Why don't we accept who we are? Why don't we focus on making ourselves happy? Why do we waste time intoxicating and numbing our senses? Why don't we face problems head-on? Why do we run away? Why don't we live in the now? Why do we distract our minds? Why do we stop learning? Why do we let race, color, and status define our relationships? Why do we let society control us? Why do we not go against the current? Why do we get stuck in old ways? Why don't we set goals? Why do we beat our own expectations? Why don't we take lead? Why don't we become legendary at whatever we do? Why don't we aim to just be happy? Why do we get angry? Why do we let ourselves stay sad? Why do we wait for moods? Why don't we become masters of our minds? Why do we lack willpower? Why do we give in to impulses? Why don't we look for peace? Why don't we sleep early? Why don't we make the most of our day? Why do we keep waiting for something to happen? Why don't we make things happen? Why do we let ourselves get pushed around by society? Why don't we stop trying to fit in and fit out? Why don't we persevere? Why do we live in denial? Why don't we learn to be more tolerant? Why don't we spread the message of peace? Why don't we forgive? Why do we ignore the violence around us? Why don't we make amends? Why don't we grow friendships? Why do we get stuck in day-to-day life? Why don't we explore? Why don't we be creative? Why don't we let that inner child come out of us? Why do we conform to outer pressures? Why don't we live with any worries? Why do we drown our inner voice? Why don't we value friendships? Why don't we value love? Why don't we value marriage? Why do we live only for our carnal needs? Why don't we look for a larger purpose? Why do we hide things we don't understand? Why don't we change? Why don't we be grateful? Why don't we appreciate everything we have? Why don't we count our blessings? Why don't we search for our passion? Why do we live life as spectators? Why do we become proactive? Why don't we try to become optimistic? Why do we lack in patience? Why do we shy away from big moments? Why do we lose motivation? Why do we lose inspiration? Why do we lose control of our lives? Why aren't we happy? Why are we bored? Why are we not satisfied? Why don't we overcome failure? Why don't we become emotionally strong? Why are our thoughts murky? Why aren't we focused? Why are we stressed? Why don't we have the answers? Why don't we live to our potential? Why don't we live each day like it's our last?